From the Big A in Anaheim, let's hope the Braves come away with a big W in Game 3 of this series here in beautiful Southern California. Surf is up, and hopefully the Braves' win total will be 2 as we wrap up this 3-game set with Albert Pujols and the homestanding Angels. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome to the final game of stop number 2 on this long 3-city road trip. Let's forget about last night and turn our attention toward tonight's game. Jaime Garcia is pitching for the Braves, and his battery mate, Tyler Flowers, is off to an amazing first 2-month start.
He's playing great. I think he's certainly a candidate for the All-Star team, the way Tyler's been swinging the bat. Take a look at some of these categories. Average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, he's 3rd, hits, he's 6th, and he's played in considerably fewer games than the other guys who are getting a lot of votes and a lot of attention. So for Tyler Flowers, look at these games played. His numbers stack up with anybody right now offensively, and certainly worthy of your vote the next time you're filling out your ballot.
So Tyler Flowers is one of 2 DHs that'll get a lot of attention tonight. The other, of course, that guy named Albert Pujols, who's chasing history tonight. 599 big league home runs, and he'll try to reach the elusive 600 home run mark against his former teammate, Jaime Garcia, who now pitches for the Braves. Perfect night for baseball. Lineup's first pitch coming right up.
And the Georgia Lottery.
As the Braves and Angels wrap up this 3-game series, Jaime Garcia for Atlanta. Jesse Chavez, a former Brave, is pitching for the Angels. As you see, partly cloudy skies, relatively humid night, but very comfortable. As the Braves will finish up this series, jet overnight to Cincinnati, where we'll have a day off before facing the Reds on Friday. The big story tonight is Albert Pujols and his chase for home run number 600. Here are Albert Pujols' rankings among active players. Truly one of the great hitters of any era in Major League history.
And he'll get his 3,000 hits before it's all over. May not come this year, but he will certainly have that. First in all the power numbers and runs scored. He has been truly phenomenal throughout his career from the day he set foot in a Cardinals uniform.
So there's Jesse Chavez, the former Brave. You might recall he pitched in Atlanta in 2010 and was traded to Kansas City for Rick Ankiel and Kyle Farnsworth. And Jesse Chavez, 4 wins, 6 losses, high ERA for Mike Scioscia's club.
6'2", slender 175, good home starts, 3-1 with a 3.99 ERA. Low 90s fastball with a cutter that he employs a lot. He has a good changeup. It seems like every one of these Angels starters in this series have had a good changeup, and he's got one. And also has a slider. He's coming off a start against Miami down in Florida, where he got beat 8-5, got pummeled hard early. 3 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs.
So he will face this lineup as presented by Brian Snitker tonight. Good to have Brandon Phillips back in the starting 9. He'll bat and play second for the Braves. Nick Markakis bumped down to number 3. Matt Kemp's in left. As we told you, Tyler Flowers, the DH. Rio Ruiz at third. Kurt Suzuki's catching. Peterson and Swanson at first and short, respectively. We got word that Matt Adams had a sore knee after the game last night, so Matt gets the evening off. With the off day tomorrow in Cincinnati, it's expected that he will be back in the lineup for Game 1 against the Reds. Chance for Atlanta to win today and even up the trip record at 3 wins and 3 losses. The Braves start action tonight at 22-28. The Braves have fallen to 3rd place in the division, 9.5 games behind the Nationals. The Mets start play a game ahead at 8.5 games out of first. I'll look at the Angels lineup defensively, and without Mike Trout, Mike Scioscia's going to shuffle things up an awful lot in his outfield. Eric Young Jr. gets the start in left field. New member of their outfield is Shane Robinson. He's in center. Cole Calhoun's their right fielder. Marte gets a start at first. Espinosa and Simmons up the middle. Pennington's at third base, and Maldonado, who caught in Game 1, is back in harness for the series wrap-up tonight. So after the pyrotechnics have been taken care of, we'll wait for the haze to blow off. Wind blowing in from right center field, and Ender Inciarte is ready to go. The final day of May, and what a month of May it's been for Ender. 39 hits. And Chavez delivers a strike at 92 miles an hour. Ender's average at .288 for the year, 5 homers, 18 driven in. And he hits this one a mile high to straightaway center. Robinson is in a couple of steps, and he makes the play for out number 1.
Well, always test the guy that just got called up from AAA, see if he can still catch.
It does find you, doesn't it?
It does. Well, they've got a thing around here. If you're near the coast, they call it the June gloom, with the overcast, marine layer type stuff. We got here a couple of days early.
Brandon Phillips back in the lineup after banging a ball off his knee up in San Francisco. Brandon at .301, 3 homers, 16 knocked in. He's 2 for 8 against Jesse Chavez in his career. That missed low, 1 ball, no strikes. Angel starters have done a nice job at home, but there have been a lot of Angel starters. They have used 39 different players, and they have a veritable pitching staff on the disabled list. And so it's pretty remarkable, Joe, that the Angels, even with Mike Trout and all their pitching problems, are as close to 500 as they are.
It's been a revolving door between the big club and Salt Lake City. Wasn't a pitcher, but another guy called up today who was not on their 40-man roster, and that was Shane Robinson.
They have 5 non-roster players on their active 25-man roster right now. Amazing. That just missed. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Chavez is a guy who lives on the corners. He's got to have some movement. Thought he got that one to come back over the outside corner. Didn't get the call, but that's one he'd like to have.
Another chance in center. Robinson drifts over, and he's got it. And so far, so good for Jesse Chavez. 2 flyouts. NCRT and Phillips retired. Here's Nick Markakis. Like Albert Pujols, Nick Markakis approaching a milestone. He's 54 hits away from 2,000. But he's also 1 hit away from his 400th as an Atlanta Brave. And he enters play with a 295 mark. And didn't get that. Strike 1 from Chavez. That ricochets into the camera well and got one of the photographers on the backside on the ricochet. That guy right there in the gray jacket took some punishment, but he's all right. And Kelsey's all right too. That's even more important for Braves country. No balls, 2 strikes. And that one's hit skyward left side over the Angels dugout foul. We'll do it again.
It's Braves' turn tonight to have a big inning.
Well,
they can pick whatever inning they'd like.
Well, if you want to stick around, the magic inning's been the 3rd, so buckle your seatbelts. We'll see what happens over the first 3 tonight. If you missed the action here on Monday, Atlanta erupted for 6 third-inning runs. That supported Julio Teheran, who won the game 6-3. Last night, the Angels sent 15 men to the plate in the 3rd inning, and every single man in the starting lineup scored in the 3rd inning, something neither one of us had ever seen in a big league game before. And that was pretty much all she wrote as the Halos evened the series by a 9-3 count. And Markakis takes a little low. It's now a 2-2 count. Good first inning battle here by Nick Markakis.
And the difference on Chavez trying to throw that sinker moving away from Nick is that he'll hit it to left field. Most hitters will either roll over it or swing and miss. Try something different.
That just missed. John Libka is the home plate umpire.
We haven't seen him work before, have we?
I don't remember seeing John behind the plate.
A vacation umpire filling in for someone on this crew.
Sharply hit to second, and Espinosa will take care of Markakis. The Braves are retired in order. Jaime Garcia goes to work in the bottom of a scoreless 1st. Come the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and they're running into a hot pitcher, Jaime Garcia for the Braves.
Jaime Garcia's last 2 starts, outstanding. 14 2/3, 0.61 ERA, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts. Went 6 2/3 innings in San Francisco his last time out. 4 hits, no runs, only 1 walk that wasn't intentional. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Number 1 is 2-seamer. It's been outstanding. His ground ball percentage is up to 69%. Number 2, promise. The promise came from the infield. He said they promised to play better tonight behind him if he'll get some ground balls.
Last night during that inning, of which we shall not speak again, I kept thinking back to Bull Durham, like someone put a curse on all the gloves.
It was crazy. I don't know that in 26 years of doing Braves baseball I'd seen an inning quite like that one.
Well, Brian Snitker said as much in his 40 years, and he said, I've managed at every level. So it was not a lot of fun for Atlanta, but today's a new day as Andrelton Simmons moves up to the leadoff spot, and he's their hottest hitter, a 12-game hitting streak. And that missed inside from Garcia. 20 hits for Andrelton over those 12 games. 13 games is a career high set last year for the Angels. And already 5 home runs. Really enjoyed our chance to chat with him before the game yesterday. He looks great, feels great. He's playing very well.
Hasn't changed a bit, which is really good to know. And still the highest rated defensive shortstop in the game.
There's a first ground ball. Brandon Phillips will fire to first, and Simmons is out, number 1. Here's the rest of the Angels lineup. The manager for Los Angeles is Mike Scioscia. Cole Calhoun is their right fielder. Albert Pujols is the DH. Jeffrey Marte makes his first start of the series. He's at first base. Maldonado, Espinoza, Robinson, Pennington, and Eric Young, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Calhoun is 1 for 8 in the series, hitting .205. That hit came in, you guessed it, last night's 3rd inning. That's taken low. Calhoun a couple of years ago had a .256 year, played in 159 games, popped 26 homers. Last year the average went up, the power went down. .271, 18 homers, 75 RBIs, but he scored 91 runs. So you look at his line this year, he's off to an extremely slow start.
He's having a really tough time of it. A much better hitter than his numbers would reflect. But against left-handed pitching, it's even worse. Left-handed pitching, he's hitting, again, this is not a bingo number, .098. 4 for 41.
He's ahead in the count here, 2 balls and a strike. And a line drive almost picked off Angel Hernandez. So Calhoun with a base hit. Now the special baseballs are put in play for Albert Pujols, who has his first crack at number 600 home runs tonight.
2 homers in this series, 3 already in his last 5 games to get him to this point. The umpire making the swap. This is to identify the baseball correctly if he hits number 600.
So a pair of former Cardinals squaring off. And that one taken too high. 1 ball, no strikes. Only 8 men have hit 600 homers or more. Pujols trying to become the 5th right-handed hitter to get to 600. And a ground ball to short. Should be 2. There's 1. And there's the easy double play. And that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit. Garcia getting the ball on the ground early. That's a good sign. And we're off to the second.
We head to the second inning, and you saw them switching out the balls when Albert Pujols came up to bat. Now, when he hit his 598th home run, they started using different balls that have secret markings on them that were put on there by an MLB authenticator. Now, that is just to help them be able to identify and confirm that when that 600th home run is hit, that's it. Now, their only way they can prove that is an MLB authenticator will work the game, and he can confirm it with a special set of tools. And Chip and Joe, I left my special tools back in Atlanta, so I won't be able to help you out if I need to confirm it, but that authenticator has you covered.
You didn't bring your, like, close-up mirror thing?
No, I left all of it. I left all of it at my apartment in Atlanta. I got none of my go-go gadget tools.
How about a portable MRI?
I got that. Okay. I did bring that.
That's good. We might need that. Might need that. You got 2 old broadcasters sitting upstairs, so you never know if you pull a hamstring, go to the concession stand. We'll see what happens tonight as we go to the second inning. Matt Kemp leads off. And Chavez just missed. 1 ball, no strikes. Like Ender Inciarte, Matt Kemp has had a great month. He too has 39 hits in May. Jesse's just missing the edge. Ball 2. There's a drive hit deep toward right. Calhoun back, and that one's long gone. Matt Kemp's 40th hit this month is a long solo home run, and the Braves jump in front.
He's in double figures, and of his 10, I don't know how many have been hit to the opposite field, but at least half, and maybe 6 or 7 of them. That's a high wall in right field. Close to 20 feet high, and he's cleared it with ease twice.
So Chavez has now given up 14 home runs in 59 innings. 10 homers, 30 RBIs. For Matt Kemp, and the Braves have struck first. 1-0 for Tyler Flowers. Tyler, the Braves' designated hitter tonight. If we've said it once, partner, we've said it 1,000 times. If the Braves pitch, they have a great chance to run off a long winning streak. There has been very little wrong with this Braves offense from top to bottom, with or without Freddie Freeman.
They have their moments, so does every other offense. But from a consistent standpoint, they've been good from day one.
A squibber out toward Andrelton Simmons, and his throw on the money for the first out.
Makes a difference too in the outcome of games. They are 12-8 when they score first, 10-20 when they don't.
And home road hasn't mattered for the Braves. You see the Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot. Last 17 road games, Atlanta's won 10 of them, and they're scoring over 5 runs a game. Very impressive.
We talked about that when the homestand ended, that this team will look forward to going on the road because they seem to hit better on the road.
High fly ball toward left by Rio Ruiz. That ball's carrying out. Young keeps going back, makes the grab, and slams into the fence.
That was a great catch for a couple of different reasons. One, he's playing in a ballpark for only the 3rd time since he got called up from AAA, so he's a little unfamiliar as far as how deep it is out there, but he's not going to take his eye off the ball, so he knows he's running out of room and still took a shot and still held on to it. He did take a little peek, so he knew he had a little bit of room left, but boy, did he run into that wall hard.
Check your lower back. What a great catch by Eric Young Jr. to rob Rio Ruiz of an extra base hit. And now Kurt Suzuki's the batter. So 2 long drives tonight, one by Kemp that left the park, one caught at the wall off the bat of Rio Ruiz. And this one's taken up the middle. Andrelton can't get that one. So as much as the Braves have bragged on Tyler Flowers tonight, let's not forget about Kurt Suzuki. He too has had a sizzling May. That's his 13th hit in 38 at-bats this month.
Fastball came back to him and must have hit it pretty hard or he wouldn't have gotten it past Simmons.
Jace Peterson could use a couple of hits. His average down to 190. And he pops the first one up toward left. Young on the run near the line, hauls it in, and that will retire the side. A leadoff homer for Matt Kemp, number 10 for the Braves left fielder. After an inning and a half, Atlanta leads the Angels 1-0.
Southeast is presented by your local Chevy dealers. Georgia Drive Chevy. Find new roads.
Great statue honoring Gene Autry, the founder of this Los Angeles Angels franchise. Beautiful ballpark, beautiful city. And a beautiful start for Matt Kemp on this final day of May. A solo home run puts the Braves in front.
I had the pleasure of meeting Gene Autry here at this ballpark many years ago. I told him that I was from Oklahoma.
A shot down the left field line. That ball is foul and off the fence by Jeffrey Marte.
That was close. But I told him when I met him that I knew where Gene Autry, Oklahoma was.
There's a town named after him?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The Cowboy.
The singing cowboy. Gene Autry back in the saddle again. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah. Spurs at Jingle Jangle Jingle. One of Gretchen's favorites.
Peter Cottontail, Riders in the Sky. Have I told you lately that I love you? I didn't know Gene Autry wrote that one. What an entertainer. The pitch is downstairs. 1-2 your count. We talked about this last night, that Gene Autry had a string of radio stations out here on the West Coast and was trying to secure the radio rights for Major League Baseball for them when the winter meetings took place. And instead of coming away with the radio rights, he bought an expansion franchise. An American League counterpart to the National League's Dodgers. And taken upstairs.
Pretty sure that expansion price is a little different than it was the last time around.
That's a pretty safe bet. Struck him out of the outside corner. Marte looks back in disagreement. And Jaime Garcia has his first strikeout.
Good backdoor breaking ball. Beauty. Not sure what the complaint was. It certainly wasn't low.
You will not believe what Gene Autry paid to get an expansion team in Southern California.
I'm going to guess like $1 million.
You're a little low, but you're in the neighborhood. At the time of the expansion, the Los Angeles area was the second most populated in the U.S. And several sports teams had already moved west, including the Dodgers. Gene Autry led a group that paid $2.1 million to create the Angels franchise. The Los Angeles team was initially scheduled to begin play in 1962, but a relocation plan elsewhere in the American League resulted in the start date being changed to 1961. The second American League team was the Washington Senators.
Yeah, 2.1 won't even get you a bad reliever anymore.
Oh, it won't. It's incredible. Late strike call. Ground ball to short. Dansby backhand from the cut of the outfield grass. Low throw. Jace Peterson digs it out. And Maldonado's retired. Jaime is getting the ball on the ground. As Joe said, ground ball rate approaching 70%.
That two-seamer that's moving all over the place. We've talked before about how tough he is to catch because his ball moves so much. And he's cut down on the elevation of his fastball, so he's cut down on the home runs. And when that ball's sinking, it's hard to elevate.
Danny Espinosa, the hitter, with 2 outs. .144. Goodness. Good numbers against Garcia, though.
And that's a little low. To tell you how quickly the value of major league franchises escalated, Gene Autry buys the Angels for $2.1 million in 1961. Artie Moreno, who made his fortune in billboards and advertisements in the Phoenix area, bought the Angels from Disney in 2003. Ballpark had been renovated by Disney, totally refurbished. $180 million in 42 years.
That was a pretty good bargain.
Yes, it was.
Disney wanted out of the baseball business.
And one thing that Mr. Moreno did right away when he took control of the franchise, cut ticket prices, cut beer prices, went out and signed Vladimir Guerrero, showed up at the ballpark all the time, shook hands with the customers, became a very popular owner here. And in the first year of his ownership, the Angels drew over 3 million fans, 750,000 more fans than they drew when they won the World Series.
Huh.
And as we said last night, the Angels 4th in attendance in the American League this year despite a losing record. This is a healthy, vibrant place. Ground ball again. Stayed down for Dansby. He stayed with it, and Garcia, another ground ball out, gets Danny Espinosa, and it's 3 up, 3 down. Shutdown inning for the Braves left-hander. Dansby Swanson leads off the third. Atlanta leads game 3, 1-0. In the second inning here in the third, Dansby Swanson, Ender Inciarte, and Brandon Phillips are coming up. Roller coaster year for Dansby Swanson. Right now he's in one of those dry spells at the plate.
Yeah, just 2 for his last 23. That's dropped down into the 180s again after he'd climbed up over 200.
Four homers, 18 RBIs for Dansby. And Chavez delivers a quick strike.
But only 3 strikeouts on this road trip.
That's driven foul right side out of play. And we'll do it again. 0-2. to third. Pennington retreats. Long throw to first and in time. Good play. 1 out.
He's got a good arm.
And back to the top, Ender in CRT. So Matt Kemp has his 40th hit this month. Let's see if Ender can get number 40 as well. And a strike. It's 0-1. Ender's riding a 4-game hitting streak. 5 hits in that stretch and 16 hits overall in his last 9 games. And as always, playing superb center field. Rocketed into the seats beyond the Braves dugout. That'll ricochet back into right field. And Cole Calhoun will have to pick that up. Didn't mean to, but fouled it off.
Probably a good thing he did foul it off. That might have come in there for a called strike.
Little pop. Espinosa got a late break. He's still coming. And in center, a nice running catch by Robinson, who's been busy. That almost dropped into a perfect spot, but no such luck for Ender, who's now 0 for 2. And here's Brandon Phillips. He too is flied out to center. He's our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
His last roughly 2 weeks of games, excellent. 381 average. Had his average up over 300 again. With some extra base hits mixed in. You know, he wanted to get that knee right before the team got to Cincinnati. Play against his old club.
And that missed downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. His former team Cincinnati lost in Toronto again today. 5-4 was the final. Reds have lost 4 of 5. Toronto has now won 8 of 9.
Got a couple of their big boppers back.
Tulowitzki and Donaldson are back for Toronto. Braves caught the Jays at a real good time and won 3 out of 4 games head to head with the Jays. Toronto in last place in the AL East, but with their win today, now only a game under 500. And here they come. They're 6.5 back at the start of today's action. That's well hit toward Calhoun in right. He'll backpedal and make the play. And that will end the Atlanta third. 1-0. Jaime Garcia back to work with the bottom of the Angels order coming up.
Last night we talked about this one that he charged, and see how high the ball came up and he couldn't make the play. Hard one, but he had to charge it to try to smother it. Tonight the ball stays down, charging virtually the same play, and when the ball stays down it's a little easier on what is normally a tough play.
And with Garcia pitching the way he pitches, your infield had better be on alert.
Well, they promised.
That's exactly what you said. That was one of your keys, and so far so good. Garcia's allowed just one hit through 2 scoreless innings. And a ground ball again. Dansby squares up, flips to first, high throw, and Peterson could not get the tag down, says the first base umpire Ted Barrett. He pointed at the Atlanta dugout. Let's see if this call is challenged and overturned.
Well, the only guy that would really know if Jace tagged him, well, 2 guys, Jace and Robinson. And Jace immediately was saying, I got him, on the way by. That would be a hard one to detect by Ted Barrett.
Tag on the backside with the runner charging right at him. So let's see.
Sidearm flip there from Dansby that brought Jace up off the bag.
And I guess from the angles that we have, Charles Thomas couldn't make a determination, so it's a throwing error for Dansby Swanson. And Robinson's aboard to start the 3rd inning. Here's Pennington, the 3rd baseman. A bunt try, and it's fouled straight back. That's 11 errors for Dansby now.
If he got him, he just brushed him on the back of the arm. Good try by Jace. They have a stat in tennis, an unforced error. That was an unforced error that shouldn't have happened.
So we'll keep an eye on Robinson at first base. Robinson's been in the big leagues before with the Cardinals and the Twins. He played in 65 games with the Angels last year. 16 major league stolen bases. Shane lives in Atlanta in the offseason, by the way. Was born in Tampa. Tampa Jesuit High School. Great baseball program that produced Lou Piniella, Brad Radke, Jason Michaels, Lance McCullers, and Dave Magadan.
Wow. Quite a history.
To 3rd. Rio's got it. A laser throw to 2nd. 1 around the horn. 2. Another double play. Jaime Garcia points at Rio Ruiz, pitcher's best friend. 2 for the price of 1. 2nd double play for the Angels in the first 2 2/3.
If you're going to turn this double play, you got to get it to the 2nd baseman quickly. That's a long throw. Rio put something on it, and it was accurate.
And Brandon Phillips, not his first rodeo. He used the 2nd base bag as a shield. There was no way that Robinson was going to be able to get to him to try to break up the turn of double play. And that one easy peasy. Here's Eric Young. Young back up from the minor leagues, and he's had a good return to the show. He's 3 for 9 in this series with an RBI. And he's got another hit. This one to the opposite field.
And he can run and has in this series already. High cutter. That's something Jaime has not been throwing, is that high fastball.
Young's 2 out of 2 in steals. Let's see what he thinks about with Andrelton Simmons out there. Simmons, as we've mentioned, riding a 12-game hitting streak. Andrelton grounded out in the opening inning.
Suzuki is 3 for 10 in base stealers, throwing them out.
Popped up over by the Braves dugout, and no chance.
They gave away beach hats today, straw beach hats. So on pop flies like that, the folks have got to really lean back, look out from under the brim to see where that ball went.
Pretty good looking hats, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Just have the wrong A on them.
There's one guy there. Oh, he's got another hat on under it.
Nice stop by Suzuki on a ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Thought for a second it's one of those 10-pound heads and an 8-pound hat.
One ball, 1 strike. And they've got Young picked off. And Peterson runs him down and applies the tag. Jaime Garcia helps himself with a pickoff of Eric Young. And that ends the Anaheim third.
Feet. Wow.
Not surprising. Houston, #1 in the American League in batting average, #1 in the American League in ERA. And a young, exciting, dynamic team that has a chance to be good for a long, long time.
We saw him for 2 games. I was talking to Mark Langston, former big league pitcher, here with the Angels, and they've seen him several times, and he said they are by far the class of what they've seen of the American League.
So we start the 4th inning. Atlanta leads 1-0 on a Matt Kemp homer. Clean-shaven Nick Markakis goes to work for the Braves for a 2nd time. Nick grounded out to second back in the opening inning.
You know, sometimes there are beard growing contests. Nick and Espinosa, second baseman for the Angels, could have a beard growing contest, and you wouldn't have to wait long.
You could have it during the game.
Yeah, you could. You could send them out to lunch, come back at 4 o'clock, and then judge it.
Get after it.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes. Little tapper. Andrelton Simmons behind the bag. He's going to fire to first, and there's the out. I think a great Nick Markakis bobblehead would be a removable beard.
Just a chia bobblehead.
Yeah, right. Nick Markakis chia pet.
Yeah.
Night. So Beth Marshall got to make that happen. As Nick's retired to start the fourth.
Dansby's got a good one working.
Yeah, but he's got an unfair advantage. He's got a lot more on top.
Yeah.
Matt Kemp, 10 homers, 30 RBIs. On pace for a 30-homer, 90 RBI year.
Great numbers. Great month. And coming at a great time in the absence of Freddie Freeman. Picking up a lot of the slack. His 10th homer.
No balls, 2 strikes. Another chance at short. Simmons has that. And 2 men are out. Hope Freddie's doing well back in Atlanta. As you said on Friday night, you know him not playing in this series is an absolute killer. Freddie's from this part of the country, and you know how much he would have enjoyed coming back to Orange County, California to play against the Angels.
And what I remember about him coming back here about 3 years ago was him having a great series. And I'm fairly certain he hit a home run.
So it'll be good to see Freddie when we get back home on Monday to start a homestand at SunTrust Park. Pitch is in for a strike for Tyler Flowers. 1 pitch Chavez, which is he had back. That's the home run Kemp delivered in the 2nd inning. Other than that, he's been equally impressive. And as you said, he's going to try to be on the corners all night, and by and large, he's been there.
Yeah, that was another good off-speed pitch. May have been a changeup. Dangerous for him here to go upstairs because he doesn't throw that overpoweringly hard.
Swing and a miss by Tyler Flowers, and Chavez works a 1-2-3. Top of the 4th. Top of the order coming up for the Angels. Albert Pujols due 3rd.
Rarely in a generation do you see someone that consistent. You know, what he did in St. Louis and what he continues to do at 37 years old even is really something to marvel at. So he's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of player, and you know, if you're blessed enough to be on the earth when there's guys like that playing, it's fun to watch from afar. Obviously, you want to get out of town before he starts doing damage.
And Albert Pujols is waiting patiently on the Angels dugout bench. He's coming up third. And a ground ball on the first pitch by Simmons to Swanson. Dansby's got it. And the throw to first. What's going on in Anaheim? A boring third inning. Nothing happened. Kind of refreshing.
Was nice, wasn't it?
And here's Calhoun. He's got one of the 2 Angels hits. And R.A. Dickey is right. Albert Pujols truly is a once-in-a-generational type player. His home run last night tied him with Babe Ruth on the all-time hit list. Pujols, the only man in the history of the game with 30 or more homers in each of his first 12 seasons. And a strike to Calhoun. A rare hit against a lefty for him.
12 seasons? First 12?
30 or more in his first 12.
Golly.
Youngest to get to 250, fastest to 1,000 hits and 200 homers. Willie Mays had that record. He did it in 825 games. Pujols did it in 806 games.
The Angels gave us a real nice breakdown on all his 600 homers, and one of the things that struck me looking at it was the time it took for 100 homers. And typically it was like 2 years and 2 months to rack up another 100.
0-2 pitch. And taken low. Pujols has homered in 37 different ballparks. He's homered against every major league team. He's homered off 386 different pitchers. Ryan Dempster, his biggest victim. Dempster was touched for 8.
And the inning in which he's hit more homers than any other inning is the first.
One ball, 2 strikes for Calhoun. Just his 5th hit against a left-handed pitcher back in the first inning. He's 5 for 42 against him now. And he watched that one dance away. After the Braves leave town, the Twins are here in Anaheim for a 4-game series. Then the Angels go to Detroit and Houston. Popped up. Ender comes charging in. He's there. And 2 are out for Albert Pujols. Ballboy brings out the specially marked baseballs. Pujols 1 away after this mammoth blast last night against Bartolo Colon.
Boy, got it out front. Got great extension. Deep into those seats down the line.
What do you think his chances of getting to 700 are?
Real good, based on that 2-year and 2-month deal. He's 37, DHing.
And a breaking ball for a strike.
Really powerful man and really strong in his legs.
Popped up. Ender charging in. Phillips going out. Brandon over the shoulder. Can't make the play. And Pujols has a bloop single with 2 outs, and that moves him past Babe Ruth on the all-time hit list.
I got to tell you, I was going back on that ball too. He took a full swing, hit it straight up in the air, and when Albert Pujols does that, your first inclination is to go back on it. But he hit it off the end of the bat, so a late start for Ender. Good try by Brandon, who's the nose ender's closing in on him a little bit.
So Pujols is at first with 2 outs. And Jeffrey Marte's up.
See that little smirk he gave Jaime after he got on first, like, oh well. Yeah, if he gets real hot, he can catch Omar Vizquel.
When you pointed that out today, I almost fell out of my chair.
How about Omar Vizquel having more hits than those 3 guys?
Never, ever, ever would have guessed that.
No.
And that's meant with ultimate respect for Omar, who you and I know shared our experience in Seattle as one of my favorite players ever to wear a Mariner uniform.
Before that changes, you know, before Pujols passes him, if I'm Omar, I have that laminated and carry it around in my pocket.
Maybe our great statistician Drew Jenkins can put that back on the screen. I want to take a picture of it, and we're going to send it to Omar Vizquel somehow, some way. 0-2, and that's upstairs.
That is just a killer.
I mean, 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Jeffrey Marte, and that's downstairs. 2-2.
Those 3 guys below Vizquel, just counting off the top of my head, I think they're around 1,800 home runs.
Omar didn't have 1,800 home runs.
Low may have had 50.
Right.
Maybe.
2-2. And that one's bounced toward third. Rio charges, gloves, and guns across in time. And Garcia continues to mesmerize the Angels' bats. He's got a 4-inning shutout so far and a 1-0 lead. Unearned run ball for Jaime Garcia covering his last 3 starts. Ton of ground balls for him tonight. And Matt Kemp's home run, the only tally against Jesse Chavez. Here in the 5th, it'll be Ruiz, Suzuki, and Jace Peterson coming up.
He'd like a little breathing room, that's for sure, as well as he's pitching. Doesn't look like he's going to need a whole lot of run support tonight, but more than one maybe. Big crowd here tonight. I'm sure a lot of walk-up ticket purchases tonight in anticipation of a historic night for Pujols. By the way, we looked up the Braves number 5 in his work here a few years ago. Freddie was 4 for 12 with a double, not a homer. But he had a big section out there in right field. Remember those folks that came, friends and family?
Well, Rio's had to expand his pass list for this weekend series. Asked him briefly before the game in the locker room, "How's the pass list, kid?" He said, "Well, today it's only 10. He told everybody else, "You're on your own." Otherwise, he might be playing for free this weekend with all the tickets he's had to buy.
No kidding.
What a thrill to get to play in his hometown park. Grew up an Angels fan from Covina, California, about 27 miles away from Angels Stadium. And a shot into the first row of seats over the Angels dugout foul. Touching moment before the series started here Friday. Rio and his dad were standing right behind home plate with the beautiful vista of this ballpark behind them for a father-son photograph. Broken bat, little dribbler toward third. Pennington fields, funky spin, long throw, and he threw a seed to first to get Rio Ruiz. That was not an easy play.
Well, Rio didn't run right away. He was trying to find the baseball, and if he had taken off right away, he might have beaten that out. He was looking, still looking, and then really didn't move down the line till it had hit the grass.
That's a good arm at third base.
Uh-huh.
And accurate too so far in the series.
2 of them. Rio's got a good arm, very accurate arm so far.
Suzuki skies one out of play. Braves have 2 hits. Kurt has the second of the 2. Kemp's homer was the first.
You see his average. He's really done good work. And remember, he got off to a slow start too. Seemed like the hits he was getting were homers. But then he started having multi-hit games when he was starting, and he and Tyler have been a great combo.
Bell tie strike. It's 1-2. Chavez coming off his shortest outing of the year. He was beaten by the Marlins. In his last outing, gave up 5 runs in just 3 2/3 innings. And he just struck out Suzuki looking, and he has a look back. Didn't like the call. 9 in a row retired by Jesse. 2 outs in the Braves' 5th.
It may have been a little in, but watch Maldonado. That's where the target was. He moved his glove just a little bit to the right. His right, meaning it had a little more of the plate or made it look that way. Maldonado may have stolen that one.
Something Mike Scioscia will appreciate. And that one's bounced foul. And out of play by Jace Peterson. Jace at first base tonight. Matt Adams with a sore knee. And Matt will be back in action, we believe, on Friday night, when Mike Foltynewicz will pitch against Bronson Arroyo in game 1 of the series against the Reds.
That's right, Bronson Arroyo.
Line past Espinosa. There's a break for Jace. He finally found a hole. And that forces Chavez to the stretch for the first time since the 2nd inning.
Jace needed that. He had a rough road trip. It was 0 for his last 7. Hit that one on the nose.
Braves, as you know, have done a lot of run scoring with 2 outs this year. A little insurance wouldn't hurt. Let's see if Dansby can chase Peterson around. 99 2-out runs for Atlanta, 8th most of the big leagues. Last year, over the whole season, the Braves just scored 211 two-out runs. That was next to last in baseball, and 127 fewer two-out runs than the team that led that category, the Boston Red Sox. That stayed too high, even count.
Chavez, in that year that he pitched for Atlanta, was in 28 games out of the bullpen and won 3. Had a high ERA, however, 5.89.
Little tapper again toward third. Pennington throws to first. I'd like to see a throwing contest with him and Andrelton Simmons. Two great arms and nothing doing for the Braves in the 5th.
Into the bottom of the 5th inning. Now, we've all seen what Rio Ruiz can do at third, but what you might not know is that he was also a stud football player about 45 minutes away from here. He was so good that when he was 14, he committed to play baseball at USC, and he was also going to play football there too, but then he was drafted by the Houston Astros in the 4th round in 2012, and he got out just in time, he told me, so his little brother could shatter all of his records that he put up in football. He told me he actually liked football more than baseball until his junior year, but Chip and Joe, I think that baseball path he took worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, I'd say so. He's doing really well. Got himself in real good shape last winter for knowing he had an opportunity to maybe make the club in spring training.
Yeah, John Hart had a heart-to-heart, if you will, with Rio Ruiz about that very subject. And John said basically to the young man, you got to take ownership of your career because you are right. John was right. There is an opportunity here for Rio Ruiz or someone presently and in the future. More on that in a second as Martin Maldonado hits and is ahead in the count 2-0. Popped up out of play. Adonis Garcia apparently had a big day for Gwinnett today. It's expected that he will rejoin the club in time for action in Cincinnati on Friday. So that will give Brian Snitker some interesting options and some interesting decisions to make before we get back to action this weekend.
Well, one hits left, one hits right. That might be one solution. I don't know. I don't know if Adonis will get his job back immediately. There's some managers who feel like you don't lose your job by way of injury.
Three balls and a strike from Martin Maldonado. Came over in a deal with the Brewers. And he just took high, ball 4. So a leadoff walk in a 1-run game starts the Angels' 5th, and Garcia with a grimace now has to face Danny Espinosa. Espinosa, a dangerous hitter. He will swing for the fences from time to time. He does have 4 homers this year. And of his 4 homers, 3 of them have come in the 9th inning. This is the 5th inning. Garcia's gotten 2 double play balls already. Let's see if he can get a 3rd off the bat of Espinosa. Nine outs directly because of ground balls for Jaime, including the 2 double plays. He got Espinosa to ground out to short his first time up, and that missed inside. Ball 1. Excuse me, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. For the Angels' second baseman. Didn't get it.
Good fastball.
Espinosa was clean shaven during the national anthem. Here we are in the 5th. Check him out.
He's winning it right now. He's winning that beard contest with Nick.
Got to put Jaime in that contest too.
Another good fastball. Both at 92.
Is he pitching with a different pattern here? A lot of sinking action early.
I don't think so. I think he thought he should have gotten a call against Maldonado and didn't. But he fell behind 2-0 and he didn't want to walk another guy, so he got more aggressive and threw a 92 heater in there and tried to get him to make contact. And he has swung right through both of them.
Struck him out at the belt. Espinosa didn't like the call. And he heads back to the Angels dugout. Garcia struck him out.
I love the fact that he stayed with it. You know, a guy swings right through, good pitch, right about the belt. A guy swings right through your 2 best heaters. You don't want to speed his bat up by throwing a slider or your 2-seamer, a sinker or something. So they went right back with a 4-seamer and he took it.
It seems to me hard for Espinosa to argue that that pitch isn't a strike. As that one bends in. As we continue in our 5th inning, which is brought to you by our friends at Audi. If you swing at that pitch twice in the sequence and the pitcher throws it in the same spot and you don't swing at it, that has to be a strike, doesn't it?
One would think.
So good consistent strike zone from John Libka. Our first look at him behind the plate tonight.
Keep in mind that Espinosa's hitting a .144 coming in. A lot of frustration going on with him in his first year with the Angels. And you were telling me last night this is his hometown area too, right?
Sure. Yep. Dad's a season ticket holder here and has been for a while. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Kurt held it there. Didn't get the call that time. 2-1. Shane Robinson called up from Salt Lake City, the Angels AAA affiliate. First big league action since last September. And a ground ball slowly hit. Dansby's got it. Flips to Phillips for 1. Throw to first, and Robinson beats the rack. Ball wasn't hit all that hard out to shortstop. Atlanta gets the lead runner, 2 outs. Pennington was doubled up in his lone trip. 1-0 Braves. A Matt Kemp homer in the second, the only run.
Good
Little
try.
flinch, but no call.
Yeah. That's that good, big, sweeping curveball that hitters tend to give up on. Almost dropped it in there.
Pennington's got some power.
Good pitch.
No homers yet this year. Another pickoff chance with a good throw. This time I think they called a balk. Yep, they did. That time Garcia's rung up for the balk. Eric Young was picked off back in the third inning, and Brian Snitker's asking for an explanation.
You know, you can't argue a balk. And he just got thrown out. I got to tell you, in defense of Ted Barrett, I thought he balked on the pickoff of Eric Young earlier. And that was on his step. Watch his front foot. I mean, that is his toes pointed toward first. And honestly, I don't think that was as bold a step as the one on Eric Young.
So Brian Snitker ejected here in the fifth inning on a balk call. Terry Pendleton will take over the lineup card for the Braves, who lead 1-0. And the tying run, a fast runner at second base. And an even count for Cliff Pennington. Runner's going to try to steal third. Pitch a strike. Throw to third. A strike. And Robinson held the bag.
Good time to go after the balk. Didn't give him a second look, and he got a walking lead, was somehow able to hold the bag. But 2 down.
And you're a strike away from ending the inning. Garcia can go back to the windup if he wants. And he will.
Here was the pickoff move of Eric Young, and watch the front foot. I mean, I thought he was Ted was very generous in allowing that one. He didn't allow the one to Robinson.
So it's 2-2. And a little tapper off the plate. What's your cue for a base runner when you see a left-hander make that move? What is it you're looking for him to decide to go or not?
Well, there's one thing that's an automatic balk. If his right foot comes back behind the pitching rubber and then comes to first, that's a balk.
And
he's got to go home.
And from those 2 replays, I mean, he went to the absolute limit.
There's kind of a unwritten 45-degree angle that you cannot go beyond, and you go to first. Rarely enforced.
Hit towards second, funky spin, but Phillips makes the play, and Jaime Garcia works around a leadoff walk, a balk, and a stolen base to preserve a 1-0 lead. Cincinnati after our ball game in Anaheim tonight. We know all about the Great American Small Park and Joey Votto and Billy Hamilton and that Mets offense with Adam Duvall. They can score a lot of runs. The question is, can they keep their pitching staff healthy? That has been an enormous problem for Brian Price's team the last couple of years. And as you see, their pitching ranks tell you how difficult it has been for Cincinnati, which sports a 24-28 record.
The home runs allowed is not surprising, playing half their games in that ballpark. Their ERA last in the league, and they've made a couple of trades. Duvall's one of them, but they've got another kid. Is it Shepler? Shibler. He's having a good year. He's hitting some home runs. They're also second in the league in defense.
Yeah, Shibler's got 15 homers. Eugenio Suarez has 10. Joey Votto has 13. Duvall 14 and 45 RBIs.
How would Duvall look in left field for the Giants now?
Yeah. How would a leadoff hit for Ender Inciarte look for the Braves in the 6th?
Like a good start.
There you go. That's his 40th hit. So he and Kemp have gotten to the 40-hit plateau this month. I don't know if that's been done for the Braves. 2 players with 40 or more hits in May.
Boy, no extra movement there. Ender got that front foot down quickly. Good hands.
So Brandon Phillips will try to chase Inciarte around. An insurance run or 2 would be nice. We're in the 6th. It's 1-0. Braves in front. One more note on the Reds. Homer Bailey, hurt. Anthony Cingrani, hurt. Anthony DeSclafani, hurt. Brandon Finnegan, hurt. Nafi Ogando, hurt. Amir Garrett, hurt. Whole rotation disabled in Cincinnati. Hopefully Atlanta can take advantage.
Well, Bronson Arroyo pitching.
Yeah.
He's been out of the game, not out of the game, but hasn't been able to pitch in the big leagues for at least a couple of years, and he's got 3 wins.
And Arroyo sporting a .662 earned run average.
And was a property of the Braves for a brief time.
He's what helped Atlanta net Tuki Toussaint, who was supposed to pitch tonight. Pop fly out of play by Phillips, off to our right, and fans absolutely botched the foul ball. Got to make that play.
There's some fans from Garden Grove. It's a bad fielding area just west of here.
So 2 strikes for Brandon Phillips.
Very controllable innings for Jesse Chavez. The home run that Kemp hit in the 2nd inning, the only run of the ball game.
And back to first is Ender Inciarte. Adrian Midgley reminds me about that 40 hit mark. Adrian, part of the Braves' great media relations department. Since 1900, only 4 sets of Braves teammates have reached 40 hits in the same May. Tonight, it's the first time in Atlanta history that it's been done. Inciarte and Kemp. In 1959, Henry Aaron and Johnny Logan got there. In 1923, Billy Southworth and Stuffy McInnes did it. And in 1936, 4 Braves had 40 hits in a month. Egads, Buck Jordan, Gene Moore, Tony Cusinello, and Billy Urbanski. So some Atlanta Braves history tonight. As Ender starts, then stops, and a ground ball hit to Simmons. Flip to second, one, and Espinosa the turn for two.
Ender was bluffing all the way, but obviously you wish he had kept going. I'll give Espinosa this. When he turns that double play, it is right over the top and hard. He's got a good arm too. Watch this. I mean, he cocks his arm back almost like a pitcher.
Two outs for Nick in the 6th inning. And that's taken low. Washington's winning again, 3-1 in San Francisco. That game's in the 5th inning. No incidents yesterday after the Bryce Harper tete-a-tete with Hunter Strickland in game 1 of that series. I believe Bryce Harper's suspension was reduced to 3 games.
Already?
I believe they already heard his appeal. I have not heard anything on Hunter Strickland, who also appealed his 6-game suspension.
I know that Harper had a bad day yesterday. He struck out 3 times and left more men on base in one game than he had ever left, and I believe it was 8.
Wow. But Washington up by 2 tonight. Cardinals beat the Dodgers 2-1. Milwaukee beat the Mets 7-1. Padres swept the Cubs today 2-1. Chicago had a winless road trip to Los Angeles and San Diego. That was a themed road trip, by the way. They started in Chicago with an Anchorman movie dress-up theme for the team flight. That didn't work out so well. Marlins beat the Phillies 10-2. Phillies had an awful month, and we'll see them on the homestand. Mets 2. As Markakis takes a walk with 2 outs.
Yeah, I got some information on the poor Phillies. They are on a pace to lose 111 games, and it's the Phillies' worst 51-game start since 1961.
They went 6-22 in May. And they play that game down in Miami, where Justin Bour hit 2 more home runs. That new look lineup for Don Mattingly is doing a lot of damage. They've all of a sudden won 4 straight.
Justin Bour, a viable candidate for National League Player of the Month. Not only did he hit a ton of homers, he hit for a very high average.
Well, here's the hitting hero for the Braves tonight, Matt Kemp, a 2nd inning homer. His 5th RBI in the last 11 Braves games, and his 30th overall. And he didn't get a high pitch. He missed it. Strike 1.
We got that location for Kemp's homers, and of his 10, 6 have been to the right of center field.
And as you said earlier tonight, you hit it out in right or right center here. That is not a cheap home run.
No.
That hit it over that high wall where the scoreboard is. And Matt's done that a couple of times. That's in for a strike called, 1-2.
Talk about a good pitch. Did you see Maldonado? That looked like Eddie Perez catching Greg Maddux. Never had to move the glove. Watch his glove. Ping.
So he's been in the rocking chair a lot tonight. Chavez is pitching a good game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And up the middle, Andrelton gives ground. He'll flip to Espinosa. And that retires the Braves in the 6th. The Young, Simmons, and Calhoun are coming up. Good ball game in Anaheim tonight. app for live Braves baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Braves home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Really excited to see all the Braves fans making their way here in Southern California for this series. They've been treated to a pitcher's duel. 1-0 Atlanta. Garcia and Chavez pitching great. And Eric Young will lead off the Anaheim 6th.
Neither guy striking out a ton of hitters. Each one has 2. Each one has only 1 walk. They're forcing contact.
Up and away, ball 2.
Brandon Phillips playing Young up the middle. I think I'd rather plug up that hole on the right side the way he's been swinging.
He tried to bunt. That got a piece of Kurt Suzuki on the way by. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
With Mike Trout out, it's going to be kind of a committee in center field, but they thought it was going to be Cameron Maybin, and then he strained an oblique the other night. He's not been placed on the DL to my knowledge. But they've had 3 different center fielders for this series.
And Trout did have the surgery today to repair the ligament in his thumb. I'm hearing different time frames for his return. 6 to 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. Either way, it's a crippling loss for the Angels. As Trout hurt on a headfirst slide. And there's ball 4. A leadoff walk starts the Angels 6th. Young has been on base a lot in this series. He's been a nice addition to their lineup.
That's the 2nd straight inning he's had a leadoff walk, and it's this case it's to a very fast runner.
Again, Brian Snitker ejected in the Angels' 5th inning, arguing a balk call that was made by Ted Barrett at first base. Nothing came of that as Robinson was left stranded at third base. And now the top of the order, Andrelton Simmons riding a 12-game hitting streak. Let's see how the Angels play it. Steal, hit and run, a lot of options. And you mentioned that 45-degree angle that creates so much havoc and problem for a would-be base stealer at first. Why not just put a chalk line on the mound?
They did one time.
They
did in spring training. They experimented with the line on there.
Back to the mound. Might be 2. There's 1. Dansby turns it beautifully. That's the 3rd double play induced by Jaime Garcia tonight.
Again, this is why pitchers look at their middle infielders to ask, who's covering on a ball hit back to me? Dansby had his glove up right away on that, even though Phillips was closer to the bag. Dansby was showing him his glove. I got this. So an easy bit of communication there to make sure nobody got mixed up.
Did you see how nicely he came across the bag too? Didn't try to stomp his foot on the bag, caught the ball and just skimmed his toe across the pillow to force Young, and then the perfect strike to first. So nicely executed. Here's Calhoun. For a minute I thought Brandon Phillips was going to draw a big circle around the bag until Dansby stay out of that circle when it's my turn to catch the ball.
That wasn't good. I know catchers take pride in catching anything thrown at them, but with nobody on base, I'd be jumping so high and telling the umpire he was on his own.
Two balls, no strikes. And up and in. I can't remember who it was that termed the catcher's gear the tools of ignorance. But when you see sequences like the one that happened 2 pitches ago, you can understand why the term exists.
Yes.
Calhoun would love to reach with Pujols waiting on deck. And he took all the way, 3-1. Calhoun has not hit lefties well all year. He entered play 4 for 41 against them. Tonight, though, he's 1 for 2 with a first inning single.
Boy, he got a cookie to jump on, though, in the first inning. That's why he ripped it for a single.
So it's a walk, second of the inning.
If memory serves, we talked about this either, I guess, last night, talking about a walk in front of Albert Pujols or the inability to turn the double play. That's what it was in front of Albert. He hit a 3-run homer. So another walk that's ill-timed.
And for Jaime, who has pitched so well his last 2 games, this is the first time he's really had some 2-out trouble. Remember, he had a stretch of games where every mistake he made with 2 outs turned into a hit or a big inning or a walk. And now in a 1-run game, he's got to stare down Albert Pujols, who had a bloop single in the 4th inning and hit into a double play his first time up. Again, 599 lifetime homers for Pujols. One ball, no strikes. A lollipop curveball, and Pujols took it.
He threw him one of those last time up for a strike.
Now the 1-1. Chopper toward third. Rio's got it. He can take his time and throw to first, and that retires Pujols. Jaime Garcia pitches around a couple of 6th inning walks. He leads by a run, and Tyler Flowers gets things started next. Braves are trying to take 2 out of 3. A Matt Kemp homer, the difference, as Garcia and Chavez are pitching beautifully.
Yeah, you got to like what you're seeing here from Jaime again. Despite those 2 walks, he pitched around it, got Pujols. So still a 1-0 lead. Get him some insurance.
Flowers, Ruiz, and Kurt Suzuki are coming up. Tyler hitless in the game to this point. And that's taken off the plate. Ball 1.
Chavez last 2 starts. He actually beat the Mets 12-5, but he only went 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. I told you about the Miami game. Short outing, 3 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs again, and a couple of homers. He's given up 5 homers in his last 2 starts coming in. He gave up another one tonight, but he's only down a run. He's pitching a good ball game.
Rolled to the left side. Pennington can't get it. Simmons did. Catcher running and safe. Flowers beat it out. Andrelton Simmons' arm made that a lot closer than anybody else would have. And Flowers is aboard to start the Braves' 7th inning.
Well, like the Braves fans, Angels fans have come to see plays like this and figure it's just an out because of his strong arm. But too long a throw this time.
So Flowers will take a 5-game hit streak into Cincinnati. Let's see if Rio can chase him around. Foul back out of play, strike 1. Ruiz hit a long fly ball to left in the 2nd inning. He chased Eric Young up against the bullpen fence, and he made the grab at the last moment for the 2nd out of that inning. And Rio's also grounded out to 3rd. So he's been hitting the ball the other way quite a bit in this series. He's got a big hole to play with Pennington in on the grass. That's launched into the upper deck, out of play. 1-2. Beach ball ends up right by the Angels on deck circle. Angels bullpen begins to work as Atlanta threatens in the 7th. Flowers at first with nobody out. And Rio didn't get it. He swings and misses. There's the 1st out of the inning.
That one had a lot of movement going down and away from him. Again, he's in the low 90s with a cutter, good sinker, changeup. That one was really running away.
We've reached the midnight hour back in Atlanta, 9 o'clock locally. With Joe Simpson and Kelsey Winkert, our great stage manager, John Q. Reynolds, Brian Woodrum, our producer, Gary Lehman, our director, Drew Jenkins, our statistician, Gretchen Caney, our AD. I'm Chip Carey. Game 3, Braves and the Angels. 2nd stop on our 3-city road trip. This one's been a lot of fun. Atlanta leads on a Matt Kemp homer. And Jaime Garcia has been brilliant again through 6. He's gotten 3 double play balls to keep the Angels off the scoreboard.
I'm not up to snuff on all of the agreements that were in place from between baseball and the Players Association last year, but beginning in 2018, wouldn't this game be like a mid-afternoon start?
I don't know the answer to that. If there's an off day, it might be all bets off. But if you were traveling east, for example, from here, I believe that would be the case. Maybe Brad Hange back in Atlanta could let us know, because I'm like you, I don't know what exactly those rules are. I know that had been talked about. One of the big player concerns was better travel, fewer middle of the next morning arrival times for rest and recovery. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that's low and away.
What time did you say it was?
Midnight in Atlanta.
Yeah, so you really think Hange's doing anything but staring at the back of his eyelids?
Well, either that or well, probably is. And I know Brad probably has this game on his headphones, and he's dreaming about a Honus Wagner original bubblegum card showing up in his mailbox.
Okay.
We know Adrian's awake back in Atlanta, so maybe Adrian can help us out on that. 2 balls and a strike. Runner goes, and it's fouled away. Suzuki trying to protect Tyler Flowers. Nice crowd, 35,795 tonight. They had 38,000 for game 1, 32,000 last night, almost 36 tonight.
Yeah, that's about a 3,000 walk up tonight, maybe in anticipation of a 600th home run.
And Pujols will hit one more time tonight. The only question is when. 2-2. Chopper toward Pennington. He's got it. On the grass, he'll have one play, and it's to first. Flowers in scoring position for Jace Peterson, and now there are 2 outs.
First baseman, number 8, Jace Peterson.
Jace hit a rope his last time up for a base hit. Charles Nagy, the pitching coach, out to have a word with Chavez.
Does he want Peterson or does he want Dansby Swanson?
Just trying to remember. Charles Nagy was on that 95 Cleveland team. Trying to remember if he started game 6 against Glavine.
I believe Nagy followed Mike Butcher as the pitching coach here in Anaheim. Now working along with Mike Scioscia, who's been the Angels skipper seemingly forever. And he's been very successful here. The pitch is a strike. Mike Scioscia in his 18th year has won over 1,500 games skippering the Angels. They've been to the playoffs 7 times. They won a 2002 World Series. They've won the West 6 times in his tenure. In 42 years, the Angels won the division just 3 times before Mike Scioscia became the manager. And as I said, for them to be doing what they're doing, as beat up as they are, really, really remarkable.
Agreed.
Let's see if Jace can get a mistake here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good pitch, 1-2.
Great changeup. Behind in the count now, and the way this defense is set up for him, as we talked about last night, Jace has been rolling over a lot of ground balls to the right side. Andrelton's way up the middle for him, huge hole on the left side, and behind in the count, make sure you got that outer half covered. And hope that Tyler can get a good jump.
already seen Calhoun's arm in right in this series. He threw out a runner last night. Pitch is caught on and missed. Peterson went to a knee, but struck out. Jesse Chavez with 4 strikeouts, and we're off to the stretch.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Georgia Drive Chevy. Find new roads.
Garcia leads 1-0. And speaking of the Braves left-hander, it's time for tonight's Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light.
How about these cold hard facts for Jaime Garcia? Last 3 starts, 20 2/3 innings, only 1 earned run allowed, 5 walks to 15 strikeouts, and 42 of his 62 outs have been ground ball outs. Pitching great. Definitely the hottest of the Braves starters.
Jeffrey Marte leads off and whacks the first pitch down the line, fair. Rio scrambles, fires to first, but it'll be a step or 2 late. Ruiz did all he could do. That ball was perfectly placed, and Marte has another leadoff hit.
It's okay, saved the double. Another leadoff man reaches, but he was going to have at least a double.
So here's Maldonado, blessed with catcher's speed. He's hit the ball on the ground in the 2nd inning and walked in the 5th. 3 straight innings the Angels have had the leadoff man on, but they've not been able to do any damage. And Chuck Hernandez out to talk things over with Garcia.
There is activity in the Atlanta pen. Typically with a lead in the 7th inning, that would be Jose Ramirez. And it is.
Great stat on the Braves bullpen. When Jose Ramirez, Arodys Vizcaino, and Jim Johnson pitch in a game, the Braves are an astounding 12-3 this year. Braves bullpen riding a 10 1/3 inning scoreless streak. They've given up 1 earned run on the road trip. Let's see how far Garcia can take this game. He's got a man at first with nobody out. Garcia's induced double plays in the 1st, the 3rd, and the 6th. Still throwing hard at 90 miles an hour, and that called a strike.
This is two-seamerville, as you said, in the first, third, and the sixth. Getting those ground balls on some good sinkers.
Chopper, Rio, fair ball. He's going to go to second. Phillips scoops it out, and they get the lead runner. Two nice plays by Rio Ruiz at the hot corner here in the seventh.
Absolutely. Nice play here again, right on the line. And a good enough throw to Brandon to get that lead runner. Nice job by Brandon, not to try to do too much, but to make sure he got one out.
Espinosa is the batter. Jaime got him with high fastballs in his last at bat. Espinosa swung through two of them, took a third one for strike three. Another chopper, this one toward third again. Rio has no play. It's an infield hit for Espinosa, who wasn't going to get to two strikes that time. So another infield hit.
I'm not sure if this hit the plate or not, but I'm going to guess that it did because it bounced so high. That area out in front of, and it did, that area in front of home plate is real wet. We noticed yesterday during batting practice, that area is soaked, so anything that bounces there is pretty soft.
So the tying run at second, leading run at first. Robinson, the hitter, he's reached twice, once on an error and once on a force play. Tough man to double up. He can really run. Nice stop by Suzuki. That saved the runners from advancing. 1 ball, no strikes. Another good stop. Cliff Pennington, a switch hitter, is on deck. Eric Young, a switch hitter, follows him. A lefty-righty matchup in this sequence. And Garcia's behind, 2 balls, no strikes.
His last start against the Giants, he was at the 6 2/3 innings mark when they went to get him, and that was with a couple of guys on, and Ramirez came in and got a pinch hitter, Michael Morse, on a comebacker to get out of trouble.
Well, the Braves are hoping Jaime has one more ground ball at somebody right here. That's why the move's not coming yet. But if Robinson reaches as the runners go, it's fouled away. 3-2.
Well, he's got to start giving a second look. That was the catcher who took advantage of that. Beg your pardon. Was that a 3-2 count?
It was 3-1. Now it's 3-2.
Well, they were running 3-1 because Jaime didn't look back. Now they'll be running. It doesn't matter.
Huge sequence in this game. 2 on, 1 out, 1 run game. Full count pitch. It'll be the 95th for Garcia tonight.
Yeah, or will they be running? If they don't get another look back, it might bounce off again.
They're going. Bouncing ball to third. Rio stepped on the bag. Throw to first. Ball got away from Peterson. Here comes Espinosa around third. He's going to try to score. He will score, and the game is tied. Rio Ruiz with a miraculous play. Stepped on the bag ahead of Maldonado. Looked like there was some contact at third base. A bad throw couldn't be corralled at first by Jace Peterson, and Espinosa scores from first on the play to tie it up.
Watching this again, he went straight into the bag. I don't think there's any cause for interference there. The thing that Jace did, and Jace hasn't played first base much, is he's trying to get the double play, and that would end the inning. But the one thing you've got to guard against is the ball getting by you. You can't sacrifice the chance of the ball getting by you and having that guy come around.
So Terry Pendleton, running the club in the absence of Brian Snitker, who was ejected in the 5th inning, is going to challenge contact on that play at third base, we assume. A great play by Ruiz to force Maldonado. That would have been the second out if he had held onto the baseball. The Angels would have had runners at first and second and 2 outs. Instead, the throw well off the mark at first.
He went straight into the bag, though, Chip.
Did he hold the bag?
Yeah, he's lying on it.
Yep.
Let's see Jace rather reaching for that baseball, trying to get the double play. Had no chance really to knock it down.
So the Braves are challenging the slide rule at third base. And like you said, it looked like Maldonado went in cleanly and went straight at the bag. And it looked like Ruiz stepped on the bag and actually stepped over the base runner. You might as well challenge this call. You've got nothing to lose. The game's already tied. If it's overturned and it's double play, you still lead.
Another angle. Went into the bag. Back foot's on the bag. He's trying to make sure he's still touching it. And from that other angle, it looked like his head was still on the base. And no interference.
So the Angels keep peppering balls at third base. Couple of infield hits. A great force out, but an errant throw brings Espinosa all the way around from first base with the runners going on that play, by the way. That helped.
That's something we were talking about the first game of this series about Mike Scioscia when he first took over this ball club. Kind of integrated a National League style of play. A lot more running, a lot more hitting and running. They're up near the American League lead in steals. And on a 3-2 pitch with 1 out, they're sending the runners even with the catcher being the lead runner. And that ultimately led to the run because Espinosa was already on the move from first.
So now Pennington hits, Garcia back to work, and he chops another one to third. Rio Ruiz, a moving target at the hot corner in the inning. And the Angels settle for a tie in the 7th inning. 1-1 in Game 3 of the series. We'll step aside and send it back to Atlanta with Jerome and tonight's big story. 1-1 game in Anaheim after 7 innings of play. Jesse Chavez will be taken down by Mike Scioscia. 7 innings, a 5-hit, 1-run ball with 4 strikeouts, a walk, and a homer. The Braves now will take aim at Blake Parker, who's on for the 26th time this season.
Boy, he was dazzling here Monday night. Came in, worked 1 inning, struck out the side.
Yeah, after the Braves had their crazy 3rd inning, the Angels bullpen faced the minimum the rest of the way. Atlanta, starting with the 4th inning here on Monday night, had a grand total of 1 hit over the last 6 innings against the Angels relief corps.
This guy's mid-90s with a nasty split finger pitch.
So we start over after 7, tied up 1 apiece. Dansby Swanson's 0 for 2, a couple of groundouts. And Parker's Mr. Fidgety out there, right?
Yeah, he's got that. He's got to ratchet his glove down 1 step at a time until it gets to his waist. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And he just missed. 2 balls, no strikes. Braves have had their leadoff man on in the last 2 innings, but couldn't add to the lead. Let's see if Dansby can make it 3 straight. And he made Parker throw a strike. Downstairs, good eye, 3-1.
Make him get it up. Split finger pitch is one that you want to make him elevate a little bit. Comes in at the knees, chances are it's going to be a ball. Should get a fastball to hit here though.
And he popped it up into center field. That ball carries out shy of the track, and Robinson's got room. Dansby just missed. 1 away in the Atlanta 8th. Back to the top of the order, and Ender in Ciarte. You missed it earlier. Atlanta history tonight. Ender and Matt Kemp became the first 2 Atlanta Braves to each have 40 hits in the month of May. Something done just 4 times in the history of the Braves franchise. Braves trying to earn their 13th win this month. They're 12-15 in May so far. Ender's 40th hit was a 6th inning single. And a shot. Espinosa gloves a beautiful play to take away a hit. That's some highway robbery. 2 outs.
That just makes you sick as a hitter. Tough pitcher. You jump on that first pitch and scald it. And a great play made on you.
Brandon Phillips is 0 for 3. First game back for Brandon after banging a ball off his knee in San Francisco. Parker missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Some good pitch counts so far, though, for the right-handed hitters. Dansby 2-0, then got a 3-1 fastball. Now Brandon 2-0. And Brandon can turn around a fastball.
Parker, another one of those non-roster players that's on the roster for Anaheim now. Got him on waivers after last season from Milwaukee. Never pitched for the Brewers. He did pitch for Seattle and the Yankees last season. 17 big league games after saving 19 games with Tacoma at AAA. Tenth pitch of the inning. A bare hand try. That ball bounced toward the second base bag, and Espinosa made another good play. Don't know if Parker got a piece of it. He's looking at his pitching hand. It very well may have. An instinct play, and he came away unscathed. A 1-4-3 putout ends Phillips' 8th inning at bat. We're still tied at 1. Park, Saturday, June 10th. Country music star Jake Owen performs, and for $20, get a VIP field pass and see the concert up close and on the field. Get your tickets, Jake Owen and Braves.com, and get those tickets and field passes today. 1-1 game as we head to the home 8th in Anaheim. Arodys Vizcaino is out for Atlanta with the 9-1-2 spots coming up.
And this is Arodys Vizcaino. He and Jason Mott are on quite a streak. They both have 13 consecutive appearances without allowing a run. For Arodys, he has not allowed a run over 12 1/3 innings in that stretch since April 23rd.
Two great starts by Garcia and Chavez. Jaime 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 unearned run with a couple of strikeouts. Chavez 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. The Kemp homer. He struck out 4 and walked 1. So it's a battle of the bullpens the rest of the way tonight. It's a 1-1 score in Game 3. Rubber game of the series. The Braves are trying to win their 4th series in the last 7 they've played. Swing and a drive. Deep right field. Young has hit a homer.
I'd say this guy has come back with a purpose.
So just like that, the Angels take a lead of 2-1 as Eric Young bites the hand that once fed him with a leadoff 8th inning blast deep into the seats in right.
Was still in Triple-A 3 days ago until Mike Trout got hurt.
Two balls and a strike. For Andrelton Simmons. He's trying in this 8th inning at bat to extend his hitting streak to 13 games. That's chopped to the mound. Arodys waits for gravity, throws high, and Simmons safe. Bartolo Colon had trouble fielding his position last night. Vizcaíno rushed his throw here, threw high, and Simmons is aboard.
5 errors in 2 nights and a couple of other plays that were questionable.
So a throwing error on Vizcaíno brings up Calhoun. He's walked and singled tonight. Eric Young Jr. has hit his 9th major league homer tonight, his first since 2014. And it's put the Angels in front. Broken bat pop. Phillips long run still going out. Back to the infield. Makes the over the head shoulder catch and retires Calhoun. But the Braves are not out of the woods yet because here comes Albert Pujols trying to hit a homer himself.
Terrific play here by Brandon. Ball is going to drop in no man's land if he doesn't come up with it.
So Matt Kemp has homered. Eric Young has homered. Albert Pujols is 1 for 3. And a strike. Braves have started him with a couple of breaking balls in this game, and Pujols has taken them. That up and away, even count. When Albert gets number 600, it's going to be a while before anyone else gets there. The next closest man is Miguel Cabrera, who has 451 homers. 1-1 pitch. He is well off the plate. 2-1 the count. Cabrera, of course, plays for the Tigers and plays in one of the biggest ballparks in the big leagues.
And has gotten to that point very fast.
The 2-1 pitch. Pujols took another one.
That was a good pitch to hit.
Pujols chased a 98-mile-an-hour fastball chest high, and Vizcaíno strikes him out. And Albert Pujols will take his quest for 600 into action against the Minnesota Twins next.
When you throw 97, 98, even 99 like Vizcaíno, you can go up there. And even against a hitter like Pujols, get away with it.
So Jeffrey Marte will hit again. He's 1 for 3 so far. He had the first of the 2 infield hits for the Angels in the 7th. He was later erased on a force play. Eric Young Jr.'s first home run since May 12th, 3 years ago, has put the Angels in front.
Well, you talked about Young's year last year, how hard he worked to try to stay in the game, stay in baseball.
And Eric, 32 years old. Hit .354 at Salt Lake this year with 5 home runs. So he most definitely was not a legacy called up. He earned his way back with good work at AAA, and again with the catastrophic injury to Mike Trout, he has paid immediate dividends with a big series. 5 hits in 3 games played. Chopper foul past third. We'll do it again. A ball and a strike. And one more great note, that home run for Eric Young with the Mets against the Yankees came in a game started by Bartolo Colon. A strike, the throw not. And Marte will have a 1-2 count as Andrelton Simmons steals his 6th base. The Angels looking for a little 2-out lightning here and some insurance. The Braves will have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up in the top of the 9th inning. And another former Brave is loosening in the bullpen. Bud Norris, remember him? He's the acting closer for the Angels, and he's done excellent work. One ball, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. So will it be Bud Norris or will it be Jose Alvarez who's also throwing down there? We shall find out next. Markakis leads off the 9th. The Angels have taken the lead.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Baseball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places. And SunTrust.
So it's a one-run game after 8 innings. The Angels, with a late rally, got it tied on an unearned run in the 7th. A lead-off solo home run from Eric Young in the 8th. And now left-hander Jose Alvarez is on, ostensibly to pitch to Nick Markakis, a left-hand hitter leading off the Braves' 9th inning.
Well, there's some interesting numbers here on Alvarez. Fastball 90 to 93, slider and a change. Left-handers are only hitting 154 against him. You see that there. They are 6 for 39. It's not very good by left-handed hitters. 6 for 39, but of those 6 hits, 4 are homers. So those sliders that he likes to use against left-handers may be hanging a little bit. Let's see if he can hang another one.
Well, Mike Scioscia has the lefty-lefty matchup to start the inning. Nick's done a reasonably good job against left-handed pitchers. You see a 270 mark. Nick is 0 for 2 in the game with a walk. Braves need a base runner, and maybe Matt Kemp can pop one. And that's in for a called strike. That's down the left field line, out of play. It's 0-2. Should Terry Pendleton choose to use a pinch hitter at some point in this inning? Atlanta has Matt Adams, Danny Santana, and Emilio Bonifacio left. Remember, Brian Snitker ejected in the 5th inning, arguing a balk call. No balls, 2 strikes. And a live fastball missed up and away. Alvarez was originally a Boston Red Sox performer. Was traded by the Red Sox to the Marlins in 2009 for Jeremy Hermida. Remember him?
Sure.
And the Tigers signed him as a free agent before the 2013 season. And the Angels acquired him from Detroit for infielder Andrew Romine. Last year he pitched in 64 games. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just missed the corner. That was close.
Exception of the first pitch, they've all been fastballs.
Swing and a fly ball hammered towards center, but Robinson's there. Nick hit it right on the trademark, but he's the first out. And here's Matt Kemp. Here's Mike Scioscia. Alvarez called upon to get 1 hitter, and he retired Markakis on a line out to center. So Alvarez went to a full count, but all's well that ends well for the Angels lefty. Matt Kemp's coming up, still a 1-run game. favorite superhero and cheer on the Braves as they take on the red-hot Marlins. Get your own one-of-a-kind Braves superhero cape as part of the special ticket package. Go to Braves.com for all of the details. As the only man to touch the plate for Atlanta tonight, it's Matt Kemp. He'll face former Brave Bud Norris, who, because of dire straits with the disabled list for this beleaguered Angels pitching staff, has stepped in to become their closer. And look at the work Bud Norris has done in late relief.
Yeah, very good work. 2.92 ERA, 9 out of 11 in save opportunities. Very little average against him. He had to come out of the game, though, last Friday, with some knee issues. His right knee was bothering him. He had thrown 3 pitches, and he had to come out of the game. So we'll see if that affects him tonight. Mid-90s fastball and a lot of sliders. He's also got a cutter off that fastball, and a former Brave.
Matt Kemp homered in the 2nd inning. His 40th hit in May.
Another home run to the opposite field.
Houston Street was penciled in to be the Angels closer. He's out with a lat strain. Cam Pedrosian has also closed games. He's on the DL with a right groin. But Norris became the closer April 22nd. 9 out of 11 in saves. And Kemp didn't get that. A swinging strike. Bud Norris started 10 games for the Braves last year, went 3-7 in 22 overall appearances, a 4.22 ERA. Then he went to the Dodgers, where he went 3-3 with a 6.54 ERA. Bud was one of 16 different starters used by Atlanta last year. Line drive into center field. That's going to get down for Kemp. And the Braves have the tying run aboard with 1 out in the 9th inning.
Just needed to get somebody on and get something going. And once again, it's Matt Kemp. Fastball. Where was Martin Maldonado going? He was like he was leaning out of the way. But a 1-out start.
Tyler Flowers, an infield hit in the 7th. Right off the end of the bat and fouled away for a strike.
Tyler hit one just about the same spot Matt Kemp hit one tonight. A little more toward right center. Bonifacio is going to come in and pinch run for Kemp, representing the tying run. But Tyler's very good at ambushing that first pitch, and he just missed one on the first pitch to him here.
So Kemp did his job. He got his 2nd hit. Faster runner on in case Flowers splits a gap. They're playing him slightly around toward right field and center. A lot of room down the left field line. A lot of room in left center. And he pokes that one foul and out of play right side. 0-2. And as you mentioned, Friday night, Braves learned very quickly this guy behind the plate is not afraid to throw behind runners.
Not at all. He will try at any base to pick you off. He's thrown out almost 40% of base stealers, which is an outstanding percentage.
And Bonifacio nearly got caught leaning.
Marte and Valbuena, the first two nights, do not hold runners with their foot on the bag. They stand off the bag a little bit, and then they come back as right-handed throwers with the glove to their left. They don't go around their body for the tag.
Runner goes. Ground ball hit toward Simmons at short. He'll have only one play, and he makes it to first. So sending the runner keeps the Braves alive. They avoid a double play. But now Atlanta's down to its final out. But the advantage of having Bonifacio at second is a base hit could get the game tied.
Yeah, and that was most fortunate for Bud Norris because that ball was hit hard on the ground right at Simmons. Otherwise it'd been first and third. So Rio with a chance to at least tie this up with a base hit and thrill all of his friends that are here. And as they did for Jace Peterson, they play Ruiz to pull, with Simmons really bird dogging Bonifacio at second.
So Bud Norris goes back to work with 2 outs. Oh, 0-2.
That was a good slider down and in there. Let's see if he goes away with a fastball, then comes back with that back foot slider. Ahead in the count, he can do that. Keep an eye on Maldonado, the catcher, see where he sets up.
No balls, 2 strikes. It bounced up there, and Maldonado pounced on that. Bonifacio wisely didn't take a chance. He's already in scoring position.
That's a tough block. That one bounced so far in front of home plate. For him to be able to corral it, pretty impressive.
Bud Norris wants a new baseball and now has one. Braves are down to their last strike. A hit could get it tied. And now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and that's your ball game. The Angels strike with a single run in the 7th and the 8th inning. And Bud Norris saves the day for Mike Scioscia's club. They win this series without Mike Trout and beat the Braves by a final score of 2-1. Boy, a couple of former Braves really played principal roles in their 2-1 victory tonight. Eric Young Jr.'s first home run in 3 years, the game-winning blow. More from Anaheim right after this.